Hello everybody, Prowl here, and I have a lot of major new features and update for pre-release 3 to tell you about while I'm here live on the Streamathon. We have a lot of big changes here, everything from proximity chat, major potion changes. We have new Sickle tiers, major changes to the farming and the alchemy workbenches, and there's a lot more. This patch is feature filled, so I'm going to try to go over all those things here with you so you can see and understand exactly what you're getting and how it all works. So the first and maybe the biggest part of update 3 is the addition of proximity voice chat to Hytale. You'll see some background footage playing of me testing this out with Cypress and Aggro, and it's actually quite good. First, when you go into your audio settings, you will now see a section for voice chat. Turn this on to be able to hear others talking, and turn voice input on so others can hear you talk. You'll have sliders for volume and mic sensitivity, a drop down for your input device, a drop down for input mode to be either push to talk or voice activity, and an option to turn on noise suppression as well. Once in game, you'll notice on the left hand side, your character appears when you're talking, as will others that are within range of you. When a person is talking, their character's mouth will move, but it does look a little funny right now as continuous talking just causes the mouth to stay open and the eyebrows to stay raised. The audio is spatial, meaning if someone is standing, say to your left, you will hear them from your left speaker. So telling where people are by sound should be pretty easy to do. And as you move further away from another player, their audio volume gets lower, and once you go past the max distance, you can no longer hear them. When talking inside of a cave, players' voices will have a really cool echo sound to them. And when talking underwater, players will sound muffled compared to when they're out of water. There are several server world side settings that you should know about, and you can find them by typing /help space voice or by going to the help menu when you have op in the world. There are several server and world side settings that you should know about, and you can find them by typing /help space voice or by going to the help menu when you have op in your world. Here you can do things like check the current settings by typing /voice space status. You can change the maximum distance players can hear each other with using /voice space max distance. And then you can change the maximum distance players can hear each other with /voice max distance, then the number of blocks you want the distance to be. And there's a full volume distance setting that changes how far away you can be from another player and still hear them at the full volume before that distance-based volume level starts to kick in. You can even set this number to be the same as the max distance, meaning there is no volume drop-off. And you can set both of these settings to any number you want, effectively giving infinite range for the voice chat. I did send Simon a recommendation to have a 0 option that would just set the range to infinite. And a couple final notes, because you guys may have this feedback as you're watching and listening. I did send Simon a list of feedback of some features that I would like to see, and a couple bugs that we found. The major one being, not bug, but the major feature would be, or upgrade, I think would be the voice. The audio quality is not really very good if you were listening to Cypress and or Aggro, whichever one I get put in here to the video. Their audio quality doesn't sound very good. That's not them. That's the voice chat in the game. So hopefully that's something that they can improve, and I have sent that feedback over to them already. 7 new hairstyles have been added to the game. First, you have Afro, Big Afro, Frizzy Buns, with an option for Frizzy Buns 2, which adds a top one, Long Dreadlocks, Puffy Twin Dreads, with an option for Wild and Locks, Dreads Fade, with an option for Messy, and Star Puffs, with an option for Braids. They also updated 3 hairstyles: Puffy Bubble Braids, Afro Puffs, and the Puffy Bun have all been updated too. Okay, so the first note here, all consumable potions now use the potion template and have item quality levels. What that means is as you look through here, you'll see it says common, uncommon, common, uncommon. Like you have these different rarity levels, which may give them an ability to like classify or distinct these differently from each other, or as they grow and add maybe new potions in the future or something, but those quality levels do now exist. Also, the normal potion and the large potions have updated models now, so they do look a little bit different. This guy right here, the iridescent potion, also has an updated texture too. Your crafting requirements for the potions have now changed as well. I don't have the old recipes pulled up here in front of me, but here's what the new ones look like. So your lesser health potion takes 1 potion bottle, 6 wild berries, and 3 blood petals. When you craft that, you get 1 single potion out of it. That's it. Your small health potion will take a lesser potion plus a blood rose. Your regular health potion will take a empty bottle the larger bottle, 12 wild berries, 6 blood petals, and 1 blood cap mushroom. And then the greater health potion will take that original health potion plus a blood leaf. Pretty expensive. These other potions for energy and for stamina are very similar in how they work, just of course, slightly different ingredients. For example, stamina taking sunflowers, and the energy potion taking the azure fruits that you can get from the azure trees. Also, your potions have been reworked a little bit for exactly how they work. So your lesser health potion will give 15% health instantly and then another 15% after 5 seconds. The small potion, 15 instantly and 30 after 5 seconds. The normal health potion, 25% instantly and 35% after 5 seconds. And the greater health potion, 25% instantly and 50% after 5 seconds. Also, I don't think this one is craftable in game, so maybe it's only findable, and you'll see it on servers as well. But the large health potion will give 35% instantly and 55% after 5 seconds. It is important to note that if you take damage in that 5-second period of time, you will not get that second part of the healing. So in the case of the large potion, you would get the 35% instant heal, yes, but the 55% part afterwards, if you get hit before that triggers, you will not get it. So the stamina potions you can see here, the lesser potion, you get 30% stamina instantly. Small, you get 45%. The normal, you get 60%. And the greater, you get 75%. Now, they did actually make a change with this. I haven't tested it yet, so we'll try it out really quick. So if I take this guy right here, let me put myself out of creative mode. I'm going to use up my stamina really quick. Now, if I drink the potion, I drink it pretty much instantly. So now you have that instant drinking of the potion. Stamina potions now have a use, really, whereas before they really didn't. Energy potions have also been updated. They now give the effect over 30 seconds. The lesser gives 30%, the small gives 45%, the normal gives 60%, and the greater gives 75%. If you're not really sure what that does, basically this gives you like your weapons like special ability. Wait, hold on real quick. Let me get my daggers real quick, for example. So if I have my daggers, right? Let's say I drink this greater energy potion and then I pull my daggers out. What you'll see is that right there on the bottom right, you'll see that the bar slowly ticks up, filling that up. Now with that energy potion, just so you can see how it works, when you use it, it will start to slowly over that 30 seconds, charge up your like special charge meter down there on the bottom right. So you'll see here in a second, you saw it ticked up. So it will do that periodically. And this does help in normal everyday combat too, because it will help charge it faster even while you're in combat, meaning you should get that special ability quicker like this. Some new sickles have also been added. You now have the copper sickle. Let me get the crude one here. Crude, copper is new. And then you also have the iron sickle. You'll see the iron sickle takes 2 iron ingots in any log. The copper sickle takes 1 copper ingot in any log. Now, first and foremost, the difference between them, one is durability. The crude has 100 durability. The copper has 200 durability. And the iron sickle has 400 durability. So 4 times what the crude sickle had. Now, first, the crude sickle still works the same. When you use it, it will swipe to the left and get these guys, and it'll swipe to the right and get those guys right there. It will clear out a 5 wide, 2 in front of you path. Technically, it can do a little bit more. Like if you stood right here, you do a little bit more the way that it works, but it still works exactly the same as it did before. The copper sickle works the exact same. It just has more durability. Now, the reach distance on all of the sickles is different as well. The crude can reach 2.5 blocks out. And this is what that looks like when I'm standing right here. The copper can reach 3 blocks out, which is, we'll get those extra ones right there. And then the iron sickle can reach 3.5 blocks out. You can see it reaches that far. So this makes the iron sickle not just have 400 more durability, which is good and important, but your durability does only get used every time you hit any crop with it. So whether you hit 1 crop or you hit 20, it doesn't matter. It only takes 1 durability away. So since you can hit a lot more crops with the iron sickle, you will use a lot less of its durability for the same jobs you did before. As an example, to do this whole crop field in my survival world before would take 5 crude sickles. I can do it easily with 1 iron sickle. Also, you can now hold down the button to harvest back and forth with your sickle, and it goes pretty quick too. So this is a less efficient way to use it as far as your durability goes, but it is a little bit faster of a way to go through and harvest all your crops. The pink crystals here, commonly found in the zone 4 underground, will now actually drop the pink crystal shards. So you can now get those. You can now craft gold ingots into gold bricks, and it only, at least for right now, only takes 1 ingot to make 1 brick. I'm assuming this will probably change, but this is how it is in the game right now. Now you can only craft the bricks, but if you place the bricks and use the hammer on it, you can still change the styles, even though the recipes are not available in here. And actually, this makes me think, what happens if I take this guy and throw it in here? Ah, okay. So you can actually go in here and change all of these here as well, but you can use the hammer too. The alchemy bench has had quite a lot of changes happen to it. So actually, let me pull this guy up. Let me break it. Let me replace it back down, because first of all, you'll see that the empty potion bottles are here. Before, you had to make them in the furnace, and there are a lot of new tiers to the alchemist workbench. So if I upgrade to tier 2 here, it should give me access to the tier 2 potions. If I upgrade to tier 3, it'll give me access to the tier 3 potions. And if I upgrade to tier 4, it'll give me access to the tier 4 potions. All right, now let me set and replace it, because I want to show you another page here where some changes have been made. The blood, storm, and azure plant seeds have now been taken away from the farming workbench and added here. Also, for all of you that are like myself, that actually spent a lot of time searching down the recipes for these bags, no longer. They are just part of the alchemist workbench. You do not need to find recipes for them anymore. Now, you gain access to these also by upgrading your workbench. So tier 1 doesn't give you any access. Tier 2 gives you this first tier. Tier 3 gives you the next tier. And then tier 4 gives you the last tier of them. You can now craft the small potion bottle and the large potion bottle inside of the alchemist workbench. You do still need to create them from the furnace, though, by putting sand in the furnace. You're going to see a few new things here. There is a crystal fertilizer bag, which costs 50 crystals and 1 essence of the void to craft. And we're going to craft this in a second to show you how it works. And there are also the seeds here, which I mentioned have had their recipes changed some. The blood rose seed bag takes 2 void essence. All of the first tier takes 2 void essence. All of the second tier takes 4 void essence. And all of the third tier takes 8 void essence and a void heart. It is quite expensive, at least for how hard these things are, the void hearts especially, get right now. But to point out, for that 2 essence of void, you get 3 of the seeds. For this guy, the 4, you only get 2 of the seed. And for this guy that also includes the void heart, you only get 1 of the seed. All right, so first of all, just so you know, the crystal fertilizer bags, you can craft up to 100 of them in a stack. Up to 100 of them will stack. Now, you actually, do you even need to till the dirt first? This I don't know. You do. So you still need to till the ground, but you cannot just place your seeds down here anymore. I'm clicking, it doesn't let me. You have to actually take your crystal fertilizer bag and you have to click it, and that will turn it into crystallized dirt, at which point you can plant. Now, each fertilizer bag only gives you 1 dirt that you can do. So it does make growing these really, really expensive. Now, I guess the upside to this is there is a change to the farming bench. You no longer need the petals to upgrade the farming bench, but it definitely does make these guys right here a much more rare resource than maybe they have been, at least from you as the player making it yourself. And then remember, you're going to need a pretty decent amount of some of these things to make any number of potions. But yes, that is how it works. You would change all of this to crystallized dirt, and then from there you can go through and you can plant. Okay, so first I just wanted to see if you could water these. You cannot. So watering does nothing to them. Now, the reason why I couldn't plant the blood leaf bag, this is the tier 3, this final guy right here. So the tier 3 of the different seeds is because they actually need to be placed, it says, quote unquote, near water. So if I knock this up right here, you have to plant it in water. So the tooltip does say near water. Oh no, they have different conditions. So must be planted on crystallized dirt against a 2-block high wall. That's interesting, actually, but it let me plant it there. Hold on, we're gonna test this out a little bit further. So bloodleaf, it said 2-block tall, blah, blah, blah. So bloodleaf said 2-block tall. Look, that's not working. Must be placed on crystallized dirt. Oh, I didn't crystallize it. You're 2-block tall. Okay, so that worked. Okay, the next one must be placed on crystallized dirt near gold blocks. So let's do this. Let's do this. So first, if I try to plant it, it doesn't work. If I place a gold block down and then plant it, it plants. What happens if I break the gold block? It makes it pop up. That's interesting. So you have conditions for this. And then the azure kelp, near water. It says near water. So that would be the one that I can't place here. If I place it, oh, so look, those count, but I can't go there. It has to be within a square around water, or and not even in water itself. You can't even plant it in water. And then I should be able to do a time skip. So you see it growing, it's still growing. There you go. That's full growth height for this guy. See how it actually attached itself to there. This one right here, since I didn't give it let me plant it, but since I didn't give it the proper conditions, it actually popped it up because it didn't have a second block to climb up. There you go. That's how you have to plant these. We have another note here that says the blood, storm, and azure plants can be salvaged at the salvager's workbench to produce their respective petals. So the first thing that makes me wonder is, what if I use my pickaxe on it the way we used to? It gives you the petals. Okay, so you can still break it to get the petals, but you can also take this to a salvager's workbench and throw them in as well to get petals this way. Be working right now for any of them, but that is the intent. Okay, that was cool. So we learned some cool new things there. So also you've had some changes to your farming bench and your alchemy bench. Since the farming bench no longer has the azure stuff in it, and that's really what you got out of tiers 9 and tiers 10. Tier 9 and 10 no longer exists. Tier 8 is now your max tier. I did test this. If you already have a tier 10, 9 or 10 workbench in your world, it will stay tier 9 or 10. You're no longer getting any benefit from that versus tier 8, but also if you do go and break your tier 10 workbench, you will, or tier 9 workbench, you will get all of those materials back, including the materials from tier 9 and 10, even though they don't exist anymore. Also, the alchemy bench you guys already saw, but tiers 3, 4, and 5 are all new tiers for the alchemy bench. They did not exist before. It only went up to tier 2 before. So defeated NPCs, they will now trigger death particles and drop items from their bodies when they disappear. This looks really cool in practice. It's a really nice effect. You see they die, you get the little poof particles, and then the items pop out of the poof, I guess is the best way to say it. It looks really, really nice. So here's another example for you to see. I'll kill the scarab right here. Poof particles and the items drop out. It looks really cool. I like it. These guys, the temple golems, they will now each drop their respective gem type. I don't think all the gem types were in there before. So the way it's supposed to be is the earth crystal golem drops emeralds, the flame crystal golem drops rubies, the frost crystal golem drops sapphires, the sand crystal golem drops zephyrs, and the thunder crystal golem drops topazes. I'm not 100% sure if the thunder crystal golem is even in the game right now, like in survival that you can find. So if you've seen it somewhere, drop me a comment down below. Let me know that you've seen it and where you found it. I would like to know just before the mob's confirmed. Okay, that's what I thought. Gatherable items now result in a pick interaction hint. Before it used to say, wait, what did he say it said? That it said pick something. Hold on. I see it. Before it used to say press E to pick up dandelion. Now it just says press E to pick dandelion. Also, we've had a change for doors, trap doors, and fences text as well. Instead of saying press E to interact, it now says press E to open. When trying to emote, you can now use your mouse wheel to scroll between the pages rather than only being able to click the back and forth arrow. So that's a nice convenience feature. And if you're ever reporting a bug, there is a new category in here called tools. No, I don't think this is shovels and pickaxes. I think this more means like your in-game, like creative tools, like that sort of thing. Tilling with the hoe while you have a shield in your hand will now actually prioritize the hoe, whereas before it would always block with the shield. Also, if you're using a watering can, they fixed a bug where it will no longer skip valid blocks when you're watering. So that should be a lot better experience as well. Also, another bug fix, this guy is a skeleton praetorian. They now say he's going to better adhere to gravity. Before, when he did his big like sword lunge, sometimes dude would launch himself into outer space. I actually have a really funny screenshot of this. I'll show you guys on screen right now where he got stuck up there like a million blocks away. It was absolutely hilarious. For all of the other patch notes, I'll have them scrolling on screen right now for you. Feel free to pause the video on the patch notes and read them here if you want to, but I'll also put a link down in the description below if you'd like to go to Simon's tweet that has all the patch notes there and read it there. And in the past, the third pre-release has been the last one before the major update comes out. We don't know if that's the case here or not, if there's going to be another pre-release next week, or if the major update's going to come out on Tuesday, or what the case is. So if you want to keep up with that kind of news, just make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll make sure to cover it in video form and during my live stream. Also, feel free to come drop into the streamathon, say hello. If you click the like button in the stream, that will increase the timer. The more likes I have, the more time I have to add. Also, if you follow on Twitch, it will increase the timer as well. So you don't have to donate money or anything to increase the timer. You control me by just popping and saying hi and clicking the like button and following on Twitch. Totally up to you, but I like to see you guys stop in. Anyways, I appreciate you guys hanging out today. Hopefully I got you all the information that you were looking for, but it is time for me to hightail it out of here. So I'll see you next time in Orbis. Goodbye.